Game of the day didn't disappoint a bit. We got a heavy on fighting game between Nord and Natives. Nord taking the win, yes they did, but didn't look as clean as they thought they would be. Was this a limit testing? Was this just we went a little
Um,
bit too far? I don't
I
know, but that was interesting.
I very much think the natives just need to look at this and say we got the win because not natives rather, sorry, Nord. Two teams both starting with them. Nord should just be happy they got the win here. That's really all they need.
Okay.
They got the win on the board. But with the way this game went, they should be far from satisfied. So much to improve here. This looked sloppy. They were over eager a few times. They weren't on the same pace. There was one in particular, I think it was around the Herald, where they initially split the team of natives very well. And then Romeo wanted to commit on the two members isolated on one side, but no one was there to follow up. And then, natives turned it around. And that turns the conversation to natives because of a team that we knew so little, only really knowing painful, they looked really good. There is certainly a team in here, and they made this a very, very tight game. So natives should be happy. Nord should just be happy they got the win.
I like the way you put it, the fact that natives should be happy with the performance. So that's why we're going to toss it instantly and then come back to the topic. We're going to toss it to the interview because we have Ball from Natives, the support, joining us. Welcome.
Yeah.
Wait,
Happy to disappoint you, Arturum.
I was like, no, that's not the support, and that's them. It's not them, but that's them. I was like, I know this face. I know this face. Welcome to the interview. It's not a new face. How you doing?
Thank you.
Well, I'm just gonna say this. This was an interesting game. Even versus Nord, Native showed up a lot. There was a lot to take in. Why do you think the W didn't win your way?
Yeah, I mean, I think if you watch the game right, it's just a case of in the end, our composition had a bit of a hard time making sure that we could get onto the back line with the Jinx and Tristana, right? And it's kind of if one of them gets to run free in a fight, it's a bit awkward. We were a bit desynced on the last call, and that just allowed Nord to basically go in and end the game, right? We're a bit too far away from each other, basically.
So you know what happened. You know the negative way that it happened, but it's still a good show from the team, and now you know what to fix and move on for the split. I know you want to win every single game. I know you're a perfectionist, but there's a lot to take in from this game, right?
Yeah, I mean, just even going into the game, right? We were aware that Nord, obviously, with players like Nile and Romeo, who had a great performance even last split, right? And Nile, a player that's been around forever, always almost being at the top. We knew that this wasn't necessarily going to be the easiest game. We came in, had a good game plan, I think, with how we wanted to deal with them, and even though we made a couple of mistakes as well, I think it showed pretty well, right? And I think what's also important to remember here is that obviously a lot of people, they maybe don't have the highest of expectations for our roster right now, right? But if we're already basically taking down Nord like this in a draft that's easier for them to execute, then how are we going to look at the end of the split, right?
I had one question for the support, but since I'm getting you, maybe you can clarify this one. I believe Romeo is the cat who polymorphed himself into a human because he can't stay on the line for more than 2 minutes. So when you look into that situation, how do you tell your support to behave? Do you like say, hey, try to keep up with them or play more aggressive because it disappears? How do you play this as a coach?
I mean, from our perspective, right, it's a case of Romeo is a bit of a Nautilus merchant, and he did the same thing every single game last split. He does the same thing apparently this split as well, right? So it's just a case of keep track of him. And sure, we had to trade a couple of flashes in mid lane, right, to make sure he didn't really build a lead from it. But I think even just that awareness and that trade even led to us getting the first blood, and longer down the road, right, we also get to take them down again. So I think we had a pretty good tracking of him throughout the whole game. He never really got to actually find a flank or find a good engage, I felt. So I don't know. I felt like Romeo didn't really need to do much this game, honestly.
So for the entire fan base from natives, you're a known face. I mean, you walked me through Denmark for Copenhagen to understand what the city was about. So for the new people looking into this new team, what can you tell them moving forward into the split?
Yeah, I think as we get more confident, right, and these rookies start to feel a little bit more into place, right, Even just today, I want to commend them on the fact that I think they really tried to keep it cool, even if there obviously was a couple of nerfs there. But I think as they get more confident and we also just get more grown on each other, I think you can expect a very aggressive team. And not just an aggressive team, but also a creative team, hopefully. Like, I would be lying if I said that TU is going to be on tanks all split, let's just put it like that. And anyone who knows Ball knows that he has a couple of tricks up his sleeves as well. So yeah, I'm excited for the split. And we don't take the win today, but I don't think that should be the showcase of our results for the rest of the split.
It. Thank you so much, and best of luck moving through the split. It's so good to finally talk with the proper Dane. I'll see you soon, man. Have a lovely one.
Thank you.
So moving back
That's
into
correct.
the
I mean, look, the problem is,
yes.
like Darkling, the problem with him, as we all know, is he's actually really a Swedish sympathizer. We covered that earlier with the DMG roster thing, so that's
He's
fine.
gone again.
And it's actually
again.
significant. This is significantly better, actually, already. So this is great.
Sweden sympathizer.
I like that chair.
Sweden sympathizer. This is crazy. Ashram, take it to the next.
We've got him on camera.
We need to take initialize. Get him off the broadcast. I'm never seeing his face again. That's crazy.
I want to apologize for speaking the truth.
So, for the final game, as I suppose we can move on from this one, we have an interesting one because not only we have Ruddy jumping into this with a new roster, but also some players from the previous one. Yeah, coming in with Alex. Oh, I want that. I was waiting for the information. If I can go back to it, I want to talk with the second interview.
Oh yeah.
If he's ready, I want to jump. There you go, Romeo.
Hey guys.
You're back. So what is wrong with you, and why don't you stay in line? What is wrong?
I think I was a bit overeager. I wanted too much blood, but it feels good to be back in official for sure.
But tell me something. It felt like Nord was in control of the game, but sometimes there was something in the mist between the team, like, hey, we should go this way. No, we should go that way. It was like a family going on to Disneyland and nobody knew what ride they wanted to go to. So what happened in the middle of the game?
Yeah, I think maybe sometimes our vision, like our gameplay vision, doesn't align. Something we've been working on in scrims, and it has gotten better, but obviously there are still some issues, right? This game kind of showed it. Sometimes we want to play for turn. I mean, I want to play for turn, but some want to play for finish objective. Yeah, so we just need to get on the same line, but I feel like the individualities in the team are like really gifted. I feel like top solo killed. We had like insane pressure on bot, like CS XP advantage. I found some good roams on mid, which, I mean, we should have punished the fact that Painful had no flashes twice. I feel like there were some opportunities there that we will definitely look at, but overall, I'm pretty happy with how the early game went. Mid game, for sure needs some work, but we have a good basis on which to build on.
Should I still put my alarm clock to 35 minutes when I see you guys play, or am I comfortable looking into other, 35 minutes?
I feel like that was the old Nord. Like this Nord, we will, I mean, we're just getting warmed up, but we will not be a team that will look to finish at 35 minutes. We will be the team that will look for Soul at 20, into Nash, into End. That will be our playstyle.
I like it. Pleasure to see you again. Best of luck with Nord, and let's see what you guys are capable of pulling. Have a nice one.
Thank you. Have a good evening.
Oh, I missed that face. Getting a proper Dane talking with Romeo. That was a good prep for this game, for the match of the day. Now for the last match, it's going to be Ruddy versus the new team, Blue White. And this is really important because we need to highlight this new team. Ruddy not only coming in with an almost entire new roster, but on the other side, an entire new team for Division 1.
Yeah, and obviously we've seen success from teams moving up from Division 2 to Division 1. Look at Venomcrest. They did a really wonderful job, I think, in Split 1. Really impressed, all particularly in the regular season before playoffs maybe exposed some of the sort of narrowness of the playstyles they had available to them. But they had a few months to prep. Blue Whites have joined the league on very, very short notice, and are now being asked to play against one of the teams that went to EMEA Masters last split, who were on such a meteoric rise. Yes, RUD have shifted some of their players, but the likes of Alex, who I don't think will be seeing much of a backslide in terms of their prowess in lane at the very least from, this is a hell of a debut. They are being trialed by fire, and I think Ruddy will want to give them a warm London welcome to the League of NLC.
You mean a very wet London UK rain welcome?
It's actually pretty okay at the minute. It's a bit grey at most.
Yeah, global warming is having its effect even on the UK weather. Regardless, though, moving to the draft.
This is because of the Sweden sympathy comments earlier, isn't it? You're still bitter about this.
He's still
You're so immature, man. You've got to let go of this. Why would you be so
mad about it? You've just knocked me off my game because I did not expect that. I've never ever been
far to fall, really. Is
I mean, I didn't want to show this until the end of the broadcast, but I'm gonna show it. So I've been getting all the tears from my fellow Danish broadcaster, and I almost filled up. It's getting a lot
incredible.
of like. Yeah,
that smells really good as well. That's a great set to the
Just
room.
one more, okay? Just one more, Duckling, and I'll have a full, scent of Danish tears. Moving on, Kalista will be the first pick for Ruddy.
Yeah, and it's very, very strong right now. You can pair it with a lot of stuff. The Varus in response, again, shouldn't be too much of a surprise. We've seen a lot of these picks in general. Even when leagues like the LPL right now, which have been focusing a lot on some of those fearless draft options, still feels like Kalista's very strong. So I think that's a pretty solid option. And it's something Nata as well has put some time into. So I don't think that should be an entire surprise for maybe who's been following the guy.
I'm very excited for MKR as well. Having a chat with Carb as one of the Finnish casters and also someone who's with us on the NLC RPS and NLC Div 2. MKR on this team is the one who does have the highest solo queue rank, who does sit in Challenger ELO. So if anyone were to have an individual performance that could try and bring Blue Whites out if their team play fails, that's the guy I'm looking at. So he's the one who could stand up individually in terms of solo queue level at the very least. But yet again, it is a team game, so let's see if Blue Whites can have success with that, as this draft has become very spicy with Kurukuran locking in that Kathis alongside the sack. Very spicy draft, especially, and now I'm going to throw this out there, if this sack is support for Alaric, who was, a sack one trick before, as told by Don Jake in your interview. I told you, I watched it all. I was there. I listened.
I'm happy for you. Yeah,
I did my job. I've done my job.
I think I also want to call out here that for people who don't remember, have not been following the NLC for long, Nata is someone that was playing to a very high level the last time he was on the X7 roster in the spring of 22 with the likes of Tempt and Haru that looked really, really solid. So again, it's fun to see him come back, and he was always a proponent of some of those more lane dominant options. So when you lock that in alongside something like the Karthus, which is the first time we're seeing it today, but is very, very potent when actually you do have that real freedom to lock in some of those AD mid laners, can feel very, very dangerous. The Blackfire Torch feels so good on the Karthus. You can link that up with the Malignants, with the Leandries, Deathcap. All of those kind of options feel really, really strong right now. So I think you're setting up potentially Nata and Kitrokan to have some really dangerous damage here.
I like it. That would be an interesting combo. Let's see if he's capable of pulling it as the bans are being removed. Alex not getting a chance to bring his Zed. We've seen it before in Spring Split. He's a monster, but it's not only Zed on Alex. And specifically since we changed metas, maybe he can pull like a wild card all of a sudden. So I don't know if Blue Whites are taking that into consideration. That would be interesting. That would be a doctor, and maybe they kind of need it, but it hasn't been used that much. I would like to see if they can pull it with Veluxa, or maybe if they're going to swap it around. But Alistar already picked. This is interesting versus Zach. I like it.
It's a pretty good way of managing that. You're also looking to try and find ways to mitigate the Karthus ult. Kindred can certainly do that, and you can challenge the Karthus in the jungle, press R to cancel out some of those potential executions. So I think that's a fairly solid option. You've already got the Talir for some of that magic damage. You're feeling all right about that. So to see what they want to link up with this. The Cassante would be a wild choice, and I think that's still just a hover for now, so we'll hold on that. But you could still flex things like the Zac around, I guess. But yeah, it's much more of the Alex pick. And I really like it here. You link it up with something like the Karthus. It works so well with an AD champion that wants to dive in a side lane, find those 1v1s, because it's never a 1v1, because you've got the Karthus R in your back pocket. So this Talia has to be very wary. The Varus needs to be very wary of the all-in combos of a Zac plus a Yone, plus that R button from a Karthus.
Oh, the draft was
Zac
so
support.
crazy. And then they went for the Sejuani. Absolutely mad still. And happy we didn't get to see the K'Sante for a 4th game in a row. No need to see more of that. That garbage. Very tired of it. Regardless, though, this is some high-level cooking from Ruddy here. I kind of want to say I like what they've got going on.
I really like it.
I do, though, really like the counter responsive from Blue Whites. Getting that, getting the Kindred, I think, could be massive in trying to shut down Kirukuren on the Cactus. I think my eyes will really be on this jungle matchup, because other than that, Blue White's very standard roster. But so much pressure now on Jonas to be able to stop this Cactus from snowballing. Because if this Cactus gets put far behind, yes, you still have the Cactus Requiem always available, but if it's only 200 damage, it isn't going to do much. But if the Cactus gets ahead, or gets time to just free farm and scale into the game, then you have a problem. Ruddy have cooked up something absolutely crazy here. I think Blue Whites have somewhat of a response, but man, the Zac support first game for Alaric in his debut in the NLC, that is bold. It is, as you say, incredibly bold, and credit to them if they pull this off. It will certainly be a sign of strength on Ruddy if they can make this composition work at the start of the split. Whew.
There's something coming in from Wolverine. There's always like a little touch coming in from Wolverine. That's beautiful.
You've already got some very good combos here. You've got Sejuani with a Zac and a Yone for the kind of permafrost CC stacking. You've got the Fate's Call, you've got the Karthus. Your ability to dive is absolutely brutal. The Kindred and the Alistar need to do overtime work here to try and cancel that dive, because if you ever get in those positions where either the Kindred's not around because it's in a side lane or whatever, or the ult's just on cooldown rather, I think it could get very difficult to manage. That said, if the cooldown management is there, you can stymie that dive. So I think we're going to have to be keeping an eye particularly on the defensive tools there from Blue Whites, because if they're ever out, you can bet Ruddy are pulling the trigger.
Yeah. Blue Whites have to be coordinated, right? And that is how they have found their success in NLC Division 2, by playing as a team, playing as a unit, and playing well together. It's not an individual merit or someone just absolutely smashing 18 games in a row and making them win the NLC Division 2. That was a team effort. We need to see that better than we've ever seen it before, I think, if they are to stop this, Ruddy. Because as you say, the perma-CC chain, like to stop this from happening, they have to play perfectly together. So the pressure is really on here. They are trial by fire here for Blue Whites in their NLC Division 1 debut as an organization. Up against Ruddy, 2nd place in spring. I mean, it's going to be a crazy game. If Blue Whites
it's not an easy one. And I just want to highlight, even with all the defensive tools, you have to be inside of Kindred's ultimate. And we've seen Alex gathering sheep and then letting the flock coming in from Ruddy. So it's not only surviving, it's about surviving and spreading so Alex doesn't gather you around as he did before in spring. Yeah. So let's see if the team that made the miracle run can just start on the right foot, or if the new team is going to step up into the plate. But in order to see the menu, let's toss it to the Casas one last time. It's Hipbrain in Foxdrop.
Thank you very much, Archer. Getting ready to go into our 4th and final game with a brand new team. But my eyes right now are on Ruddy. As exciting as having Blue Whites in the league is, Karthus, Yone, Sejuani, Zac support. Like, this is a fun comp here from Ruddy, and getting the best of being able to get their hands on that Karthus, because it is so potent right now in the jungle. With the Blackfire Torch, farms incredibly quickly. Once you get the Malignance in, if you build a Malignance, I would advise build it. Get that ult up as much as possible. You money farm, you poke people out just from pressing R. It's absolutely brutal. I'm curious of your thoughts on it though, Foxy, because I'm a dum-dum and you are a slightly smarter dum-dum. Yeah, also a dum-dum, but slightly more brainy dum-dum.
Yeah, I mean, it's really strong right now. Last patch, it's been nerfed this patch. I actually didn't know which patch we're playing on, but the live patch for solo queue, it's been nerfed, but it's still really, really strong, and it was statistically like the strongest champion of the entire patch previously. So yeah, he's still really, really strong. And as you mentioned, the new items that come through, the Fated Ashes into Blackfire Torch, Leandri's good option. The thing with Karthus is he's kind of just spoiled for choice as to which items he wants to build. Like as we talked about the burn items, but you also said Malignance, which is crazy, like ultimate. cooldown reduction. You know, Death Cap's always good, Shadow Flame's good. Zhonya's now giving you 120 AP, actually makes it a relatively viable choice for you now, because you can just jump into the middle of team fights and pop your Zhonyas and get more time to get that, you know, the file off. I think it's your E is the file, I think it is anyway.
And you stack the Blackfire in that time, because the longer you're in combat, the more AP you gain off it. I think it's 4%
exactly.
maxes that, so really nasty. Really nasty.
It's gross. It's really strong, and as Duckling said, I think it was Duckling, was it initialized actually? One of those two handsome gentlemen said it pairs really well with an AD champion as a solo laner, which we've got in the Yone, but especially one that wants to jump in, dive in, and be crazy, because it's just such a great combo. Yone goes insane. He just blows everything, goes balls to the wall, and then Karthus presses R, and within that combo, some squishy is going to die. So it's pretty scary combo.
It's also one of those things where you don't really think as Karthus as a ganker, but if you do find yourself in the scenario where you could pull a gank off, versus a Talia in the mid lane, Talia's anti-dash. She doesn't have any dashes. So you put that wall down, and like you're shoving either the Yone or the Karthus away from you, and the other's closing the gap in that time while the slow gets you. So the Wall of Pain is a really, really useful tool, which I think, you know, in certain matchups where you've got, you know, a lot of immobile people. I'm just having a brief look at Black and White's team. They got a Varus, so there's no dashes there. You know, Kindred technically has a dash with a Q, but it's not like a long range dash. You can't really go far. It's better for getting over walls if you're going to use it defensively. There's just a lot of tools and a lot of people who can get locked down by that Wall of Pain. So that's going to be a major point to kind of play with. And, you know, Karthus in general, not really a ganker anyway. So you'll just be clearing the jungle very quickly, and then you can look for those opportunities to make those plays happen. It's going to be absolutely brutal. Now, I believe we're having a few issues with our players. So before we carry on going on, did I hit break? Is that the words I just said?
I think we're ready, mate. Let's go.
Let's go.
Get us in.
4. Weird looking break screen. Here we go. Game number 4. Ruddy versus our brand new team Black White. Replacing Lion's Creed, but keeping the lion in the league with that logo. Love it. See what the game plan's really going to be here from Ruddy. Obviously, Karthus, I talked about the ganking tools, but realistically, you're definitely not an early ganker unless a really good opportunity is given to you. So expectations are Kit Marukan probably just going to start his blue side, fast clear down, and let's say Yones actually is going to be starting his blue side, so might be a bit of a map split as they move around. Yones, and this is not going to be
another thing that we wanted to, I wanted to talk a little bit about. We mentioned with Karthus items and whatnot. We haven't mentioned his runes and first strikes. There's 2 options on Karthus: Dark Harvest or First Strike. And First Strike is so strong right now that if you can take it, you tend to take it, right? You see a lot of ADCs with First Strike. Caitlyn's a big one. Corki goes First Strike as well. Talia here has First Strike. And it's really strong right now. It gives you a lot of damage, gives you a lot of gold, and Karthus really, really likes this. Like, Karthus is all about gold efficiency. He wants to get his items ASAP, and a great indicator of that, not just from the runes, but he's not even bought a potion. He wants that 50 gold in his pocket so that he can get to his items ASAP, especially with Fated Ashes, assuming that's going to be the rush item. Honestly, as soon as you buy that, whatever AP jungler you're playing, Fated Ashes, which is the component, the burn component that builds into Blackfire Torch and the Andries, it gives you a flat amount of damage, like burn damage, which is enhanced versus jungle monsters, and it is so gross. You just start powering through the jungle as if Karthus needed that even more.
It's
cheap
crazy item as well. That's the crazy
900
thing
gold.
900 gold was effectively a major spike, at least for your jungle clear. It does a lot to champions as well. It's not like it's a bad item versus champs, but your jungle clear is heavily, heavily improved by having that. So he should be close to that, if not have it off his first clear. I can't remember. Yeah, it's because he's not bought a potion. Yeah, he should have a lot of money.
Can we talk with the gold real quick, observers? Because I'm actually quite interested in seeing how this one works out.
I
was not even going for it. Never mind. It's going Dark Seal and Amp Time. See, I'm curious to see
That's
whether that,
750.
you know, yeah. So Dark Seal's what, 350? Is that?
Yeah,
And 400s?
350 plus 400, so
Yeah,
750
yeah.
buy. If he did
Yeah.
Crab, then yeah, he would have had it. Because I think, wait, Crab's only 90 actually. You'd be a little off still, actually.
But with time as well, right? As time goes on,
Wait,
you get
Alaric
massive
is
goals.
here.
So.
Oh, Jones, this is not what you wanted to be happening.
Level 2,
They found
Zach.
the knock-up, they found the damage, they're going to just slowly burn him down. That's a Dark Steel stack, if anything. First blood to Kit Rukin. Huge rotate there from Alaric.
Looks like he's gonna. Yeah, that was great from Zach. Honestly, so you often see supports roam to the top side, but that's more for grubs, not for contesting the first crab. That was actually quite. I mean, I feel bad for Jones. I don't think he was expecting that one. And first blood to Carter, so you can't go wrong with that, especially when you've got a Dark Seal getting those stacks there. Beautiful stuff. As Kit Rukin is now going to double crab, but shouldn't be punished for this one. The downside to this right here for Carter's, which is why I'm a bit surprised at this double crab contest, is that he's on the complete wrong side of the map to pick up his respawns jungle. Right, like it's his top side that's respawned first, because that's where he started, right? He started at that blue buff. So going to that bot crab to deny it from Kindred, I think is mostly because it is Kindred, and Kindred I think will still get that mark on the bot side. I actually didn't quite see whether the mark was already on the top side or not. But it's a little bit inefficient pathing here for Carthus, honestly. That's the point I'm trying to make. I'm a bit surprised he put so much effort into contesting that bottom crab.
Alrighty, well, just keeping our eyes on the overall map state right now. Alex just quite happily getting a bit of control here. Does need to be careful because Jones is coming in for a potential gank, but Alex is going to move in the opposite direction towards his jungler. And it's just across the map invade. Both junglers stealing each other's chickens from each other.
Cross map invade, always decent stuff. Good response from Jones. This is the downside. If you get invaded and you don't have a response, then it's just a net negative, right? You have to have a response. And to be honest, yeah, it's just trading is totally fine. You don't have pressure in the mid lane, so you just take what you can get. And in this situation, Jones is happy, still sitting on a decent amount of farm. Not too worried about that one. It's all looking good. So we've got this bot crab spawning. We've got the top grub spawning as well. Looks like it's going to be a bit of a contest, more so to the top side. Jones is resetting here. Won't be there as they spawn, so maybe instead not actually going for that, and we'll be pathing down bot. Has got that extra reset, which Carthus does not. Let's see how that unfolds.
Yeah, obviously not quite at the point where that does come in here for Kit Rukin. Does need to get a few more camps and actually decided to go into the Lost Chapter first, so didn't pick up the burn early. Still clearing very, very fast. This could actually be a Malignance build then, potentially, from them. Could really go either way. I mean, Malignance build, to me, is kind of like they want to be using that ult as much as possible just to get pressure on the map, just to be able to back people up. Obviously, the Blackfire Torch, very, very effective there as Jones. Being forced away, getting jumped onto. Looking to throw out the Q. Is not going to be able to get the follow-up, although they do get some vision. The Wall of Pain comes in. Jones getting a little bit of damage here from Kit Rukin, and his blue could be forfeit. Alex has ultimate, and Jones, no ulti. This could be a very, very dangerous contest from him. He's coming over the wall. It's secured. It's stolen. 6 comes in, and Alex is going to take this opportunity to jump forward. Everything gets thrown down onto him. Jones flashes away, and that is the kill for Nata. A little bit of a miscommunication there, but regardless, they get the ult off, and that's going to be built. Getting this kill on to another. Beautiful assist comes in. Kit Rukin with the old bait and switch. As all pro.
Exactly.
Pomo.
Exactly. Yeah, that was maybe a bit much for Kalista flashing in for that kill. But I mean, it's good to get Kalista a kill, so that's fine. Carthus obviously would still appreciate a kill, but it was all for the assist in the top side. He knew that Sejuani would be able to finish the job, and there it is. Gets himself another stack onto that Dark Seal. You can see, honestly, as far as the lanes are going, it's not a bad start here, honestly, for the blue-whites. Like, the lanes are doing pretty well. You can see, like, there's a lead in the mid lane as well. Bot side CS is Varus favored here too. But it's really the grouping up and the team plays here from Ruddy that's setting himself apart right now. And Karthus, considering he does tend to have a relatively, timid early game, whether it's Alex or whether it's Alaric, they're all coming down to invade with him, to make plays with him, and really pushing him through and accelerating this Karthus.
8 minutes on the clock. 8 minutes 30 on the clock. Jones is going to be able to pick himself up the grubbies. Nice little grubby pick up there for Jones. Grab that. Head off. Alex chilling in the mid lane. Both supports in the area. The charge is coming in. Homo able to dodge our way. Gonna be a-okay.
That's it, just trading support pressure right here. Not too much happening. To be honest, it's a bit of a waste of time for both the supports. They're kind of just there in case the other one tries something. More specifically, Alistair there to block a Zac play, because Zac is the more proactive of those two champions. But if nothing's happening, just going to be a bot side play instead. And we might actually get a catch from Igets. He's only level 5. I'm not going to get caught out. And yeah, just a little bit more slowness happening here. Level 7 for Karthus. Feeling pretty good in this one. Keeping up CS with the solo laners is always a good thing to see.
9 minutes 30. Gold right now. 1,000 in favor of Ruddy. So, kind of shout outs to the new team. They're doing all right on keeping up with Ruddy right now. Definitely not had too many issues, or I say that, and lovely little turnaround. Actually, they're gonna get a whole bunch of damage off, but a great pullback comes in. Alaric, low HP. He almost gets himself blown up as well, but there is an ultimate available to Kit Rook, and the problem is
Kindred's there.
Shuts it down massively, and they are going to be A-okay.
Still push them out of lane, however. Those plates going to be falling down. The behest of Nata. Be able to pick those ones up. A big minion wave as well. And a little bit of jungle in the favor of Ruddy. I do think that is a mark, though, in the top river with that crab. If Jones wants to bomb it over there, he should be able to pick that one up, which would be his second, I believe, mark of the game. So I'm already to pick up at least one. Downside being, however, that Ruddy will know about this as well. So stopping off at the chickens, I'm not too sure that was a great idea, as Alex now fully engaged into this fight. He's dedicated here.
In danger. He's going to throw the ult down, but doesn't get enough damage off. Oh, wait. Hold on. He does get enough damage off. He flashes the wall. He doesn't even need to flash. They're coming in for the turnaround. The shield is enough. Ruddy. Absolutely beautiful play from them there. As we do see MKR get himself a kill onto Alaric in the meanwhile.
That was a trader kill though for the supports. Alistair died there too. Karthus picking up the kill. But look at the zoning for NKR. Like, I don't know if he's seen the warm embrace of this outer tower bot side for goodness knows how long. Far too long as far as he's concerned. Karthus picking up some more kills here as well. I do think it's a little bit of a crime, though. I'm not going to lie. Ruddy picking up kills bot side because they're 3 versus 2. That one makes sense. But also picking up kills top side when you're 2 versus 3 doesn't make sense.
He has flash. He has barrier. He's going to pop it. Gets a bit of damage off. He gets chasing forwards. Nata finds the kill. He gets in a whole heap of trouble. Back to the bot lane. Back to the action. He gets himself taken out. Double kill for Nata.
I was so waiting for you to make a line like that. I was going to say something. I was like, nah, let it happen. Trust the process. He's going to say it. He gets himself killed. There it is. Beautiful. Excellent. I'm sure we're going to be seeing a lot of that over the split as well. Fantastic. Yeah, Ruddy just picking up everything here now. They don't have to choose which side of the map they want to make plays. They don't have to decide, yeah, it's all theirs for the taking. They're having their cake and eating it too. It's now a 3,000 gold lead, almost 4,000 at this point. And you're right, it is that Malignance rush for the Karthus. I do think this makes a little bit more sense with Thirst Strike as well. Being able to spam that one down and getting more gold come through as Alex doing Alex things, but yeah, he's fine.
He's going to charge the kill off, but he's actually getting a lot of damage off. He gets his, having a lot of samurai swords thrown at him right there. He's going to be alright.
It's not fair, isn't it? That he only gets 2 swords. Yasser only gets 1.
Yeah.
You know the favourite brother is...
Oldest.
Yeah,
If
well, isn't he
anything,
also
that tells
dead?
me that Yasuo was... No, I'm not going to go there. Yeah, they just...
I don't know where you were going with that, but I think it's probably best I don't know.
It's not too bad. I'm not ending my career over it. I'll tell you after the broadcast.
Fantastic. Exciting.
Exciting time.
I got that to look forward to, unlike the fact that I realise unless Ruddy end this game in 20 minutes, I'm not going to be able to get fish and chips from the chippy.
Oh, that's a real pain, but it looks like Ruddy extending that timeline a little bit there with MKR getting a shove down. MKR's getting jumped onto. Kit Rukin's in the area. The wall of pain comes down. They got the teleport, but MKR pops himself the barrier. That's the kill for Kit Rukin. Underneath the tower he goes. Flashes out. Aegis in danger. He's burning low. Double kill picked up for him. Pomo not low enough. He's just dodging all of them. Can he dodge enough? I don't think he can. Oh, oof. He's lucky that timed out. Built. He's just built this. Beautiful dodge.
Yeah, Keith Druken was good at landing those Skittles, but as you mentioned, he timed out at the end there, so Pomo is able to survive.
If Alaric stops the recall, Kit Rukin kills him. No,
that's true, actually.
He's not.
He was thinking about
he
it.
Didn't think about it.
Yeah, I think he'd have to walk a little bit too close, and then Pomo would be able to shove him and kill him. Yeah, risky move there, but all in all, at the end of the day, the important thing is that Karthus is getting more and more kills. He's getting so many items come through here. He's almost completed his second item, which I'm not sure that's going to be, building out the Hextech Alternator. It's not one of the burn items, that's for sure. I mean, Storm Surge, maybe. It could be the gun, I think. Might be that as well. Maybe Shadow Flame? I think it might be Shadow Flame. I'm not too sure. Either way, it doesn't matter. It's going to deal damage. It's going to hurt Blue-Whites when we get into these team fights. Throwing down that ultimate from Karthus, almost level 11 as well, so almost rank 2. It's going to be a whole world of pain for the Blue-Whites.
Yeah, it really is. Let's have a look at the overall state of everything right now. Gold lead still 4,000 in the favour of Ruddy. Uh-oh. That's the block who gets called back with a low health bar. Alaric getting a safety.
He is flirting with fire on that one, though. Disrespecting the Blue-Whites, who had a good control over the topside river here. A lot of vision as well coming down. I have to say, I'm pretty impressed, actually, with the way the Blue-Whites were able to perform in this one. You know, not to say that we had low expectations, but here comes the level 11 rank 2 ulti.
Oh, Kit Rukin losing a lot of HP here. They actually get the knockback onto Alaric, but look at the rest of the fight. Aegis has to flash away. Black-White low HP. Alaric launches into the fray. Nata secures himself a kill. Alaric gets the next. Pomo sends them packing, but Nata's keeping the pressure up, and here it is. Double kill for Nata. Ruddy, 14-4. I feel like the time of stalling from Black-White is slowly fading away.
Looks like fish and chips is back on the menu, boys. Keep it up, Ruddy. I'm really hungry. I cannot overemphasize how much my belly is gurgling. I don't know, though. Oh, this is at 9, Jake. I've got 22 minutes. We'll see.
You're an animal, man.
I'm just hungry. Just really hungry.
I've like heard of people talking about like caster bias before. I've never heard the bias be because I want fish and chips.
Look, I mean, I don't really have a response, but that's what it is today. It's I mean, we all have our reasons, right? And Blue-Whites, they've done decently, I have to say, up until this point. I think that, you know, the gold total here, it's going to be tough.
He put him in MKR's kill range. Locked down. Nata secures the kill. Yones jumps away. But Alex is able to get himself a double kill for his ADC. Alaric keeping the pressure up on the Yones. As Yones is going to be able to break away. He has got himself his Ornn about, but I mean, he's just losing his jungler. He is 3 levels down to Kit Rukin.
Yeah, it's not looking too hard. This is the thing. Once it starts slipping away against the Karthus, it really starts slipping away because he just farms so fast. It was a Horizon Focus, by the way, was the second item, which is actually quite underrated. I don't see it too much.
It's huge
on Karthus. Yeah, this is the thing. As I said, he was kind of spoiled for choice with all the items he can build. I didn't even mention this one, but one of the changes to Horizon Focus is the vision that it gives, right? Like it gives true vision for, I can't remember how many, I think it's like 6 seconds or something like that.
It's quite long.
Yeah, but whenever you use your ulti, you literally get map hacks for a little bit of time, and which is so valuable in a team fight, right? If you slam it down at the beginning of a team fight and you just have like this mega vision on everyone involved, it's kind of like the opposite of a Nocturne ulti, really, right? And we all know how valuable that is in a team fight too. So it's actually really underrated, and we'll see if they can use that vision to their advantage too.
So I know there's 2 builds on Karthus. One is the ult burst build, and the other one is the burn build, which is like the Blackfire Torch. Might have to hold that one. Not gonna have to. Teleport comes out, and Alaric's safe. Dragon secured. But yeah, so you have this like Blackfire, Leandri's kind of burn ult build, and then you have the like just burst and use ult as much as possible. This is like, I will ult you off CDR just to whittle your health bar down and force you off an objective build. I really like this one. This is actually my preferred Karthus build. Although Blackfire Torch is quite a cost-effective item, but so is Malignance, to be fair. Malignance is like 2,600, 2,700, I think. It's quite a cheap item.
No, I think you're right. I think Blackfire Torch might be like 2,750 and Malignance like 2,600. Something like that. They're both really cheap.
Yeah.
Yeah, they are. They're both really cheap. I actually think this build, firstly, it's more fun, so that's great, but also it's more like burst focused build and more like OT focused build. It's great if you're ahead, right? It's really good if you're ahead, because you absolutely boink people with that ulti. Like, you don't have to rely on like the burn percentage health damage, which is more to do with how strong your opponents are, right? If you're doing a percentage of their health, it's purely up to you and your deeps. And like, look at that, he slammed down an easy large RUD as well. Yeah, he's got a lot of damage with that ulti. You can see though, the blue whites are really itemizing against it. We had green smite come through from Kindred, which is a little bit of a shield. A second item, Edge of Night from Varus, and already the stopwatch from Talia. But here is the Hail Mary Baron.
They're going for it. They're going for it. Nana's in danger. Kurt finds himself caught out. He's going to blast going away to a bit of safety. Aegis keeping the pressure up, but in comes the rest of the team. Aegis losing a lot of HP. Nata gets flashed onto. Bopped into the team. Nata's going down. Shut down. Picked up for MKR. Now Bill has to stand in the middle, but it's a triple for MKR.
3 kills for nothing. It's clean. They'll be turning back around onto the Baron here. I'm a little bit scared still though, because Karthus ult is up. And there is a Kindred ulti as well. He is throwing it down.
Malignance burn on top of this. They are getting absolutely whistled down off the back of that one. Alex tries to play influence. Gets himself the damage. The Kindred R comes in. Kit Rukin's just playing zone. They dodge away for the moment. They jump in. Alex finds 1, finds 2. Wow. It's a triple kill picked up for the Karthus. An absolute butchery by Ruddy.
That's it. That's 5 members down. All it took was Karthus' life. 2 versus 5 to bring down the entirety of the team from the blue whites. And now it should be the Snaps on the backside as well. Obviously no jungler. They shouldn't need it when everyone on the side of the blue whites is down. What a turnaround right there. A glimmer of hope, but that hope did not last long. 30 seconds or so. Great team fight. Give him credit for that. But what a turnaround at the end there. Alex, Kitaruken. Powerful combo.
Absolutely huge performance from them. Alex, sorry, monster on the Yone, and Deathcat now almost finished off the back of that from Kit Rukin. You can see, like, they were grouped up. The Baron then reduces your magic resist. Then you have the Malignance burn on the floor. Absolutely brutal. Kit Rukin played that so well, and Alex, also playing it incredibly well himself, and closing in now on the Ocean Soul. I swear we've had nothing but Ocean Souls today. Oh no, we had 1 Hextech. It's
yeah, we
1
had
Hextech, 3 Ocean, I think.
Yeah. No, you're right though. It's been a lot of Oceans so far. And Ocean's a very good soul to have, so no mercy being thrown for the League of Legends gods towards our teams here today. Is soul spawning in 1 minute's time. It's really just going to be working these lanes here with that Baron buff. Obviously, the bot side of the map closest to the dragon, so makes sense to be wanting to push down and sieging these turrets. Jones has just reset. He's got his collector alongside the Kraken Slayer. Honestly, he's not that weak, all things considered. It's just when you compare him to a Karthus, 3 items and 4 levels. It's something.
Yeah, looks like for now, it's just the siege game from the Baron. It's just so hard. Even MKR, who's got this Legend Knight to kind of absorb the damage of the Calf Assault. At this point, now the Death Cap's finished up, it just gets so hard, even if you survive it, and there's the burn. So Legend Knight's on low. They're going to find the knockup. They're going to find the damage. Jones is going down. He has the ultimate. Can he pop it in time? No, the burn secures the kill. Everybody goes down. And that is brutal for Black-White.
They've done okay though so far. Honestly, only one member of the team has fallen. They're so close to their base, they'll just be able to walk back and heal back up. 2 members for 1, not too bad. All things considered, Blue-White's holding on really well there. Of course, this is the big downside right now though, is it means they're not in a position to contest this Ocean Drake, which, let's be honest, they weren't going to be in a position to contest anyway. But yeah, Ocean Soul coming through here right now for Ruddy. They've got huge members in the mid, and in the jungle as well. It's going to be tough to bring them down.
Yeah, it's going to be super, super hard to deal with them. 10 stacks onto that Dark Seal. Wonder if he just does the cheap conversion, gets from Regice. He'll get the move speed bonus off the back of that as well. So what, 1,500 gold, 1,600 gold for a cheeky upgrade on that?
Yeah, it's not too much.
Karthus can stack it very easily. Medjai's is quite a cost-efficient item for him. I mean, it is for
He
everyone.
loses stacks quite quick. Well, maybe when I play him, I lose stacks
you're
all the
playing
time.
him different. He's 8 and 2, bro. He's not dying that much. Oh,
I'm a
Jones.
passive enjoyer.
Oh, Jones. Oh, missed it, but it did seem to still hit. Jones goes down. Did have his ultimate. Didn't even bother casting it. Get a whole bunch of damage off MKR. Is going to do a bunch in return, but in comes the Weaver's Wall. Pokemon gets called back. Nata's going to keep Alaric safe.
See if we can siege the inner turret here for the top side for Ruddy. They are member short here, this one. One more also having to slap down that Zonya's.
Oh.
Yeah, but the locket, it's big, isn't it? The lock, like I said, they're itemizing. Blue-White's are itemizing very well against this Karthus. And just add another one to the list, it's the locket as well. That AoE shield is really good versus Karthus ulti. Really is, I mean, I'll be totally honest, like, he is struggling to have that big oomph, is that Karthus. And now with no ulti and the fact that everyone from Blue-Whites can just reset and heal up, in a very good spot here, you know, that you know, losing that inner turret, but apart from that,
he's close to 16, so he gets another big upgrade to the damage capability. Alex, I think, caught in the shot there, pops himself his E, but that is probably him in danger, although they do throw everyone else back. He jumps in, tries to jump out with the Q. They keep the CC chain onto him, and it looks like Volluxer gets himself the knock up onto one. Alaric, very low HP, is going to lose his blob. He traded his life to make sure his mid laner shutdown isn't given over as Jones gets the kill.
Alex just a little bit too disrespectful there, recalling too close to the enemy team. And it is something I really am quite impressed at, honestly. The amount of fight that's coming through here from the Blue-Whites. Like, they have not rolled over and died at all. Despite the lead. That's a 10,000 gold lead here, 26 minutes in. It doesn't really seem like that, really. Like, when you're watching it and you're looking at these fights, it actually kind of seems a lot more even. And Blue-Whites really being able to find their windows and find their engages, find the fights, mitigate what's being thrown at them from Ruddy as well. I think the real problem, though, is just when it comes to contesting the objectives, right? They couldn't contest the Soul. It's going to be hard to contest the Baron as well. That might be where they fall. They're holding on, but at some point you run out of time because you have to contest. That might be their downfall.
Yeah, absolutely. It is very impressive from the new kids on the block that they're able to go toe-to-toe with a team like Ruddy. Ruddy still are very much in control of this game. They've now got the... oh, wow, I've forgotten the name of it. The Void Staff item onto Kit
Yeah, the
Rukin.
Blighted Jewel or something like that, isn't it?
Blighting Jewel, or something like that, yeah.
Something
wow,
like that.
Total brain farts on that one.
Yeah, the Magic Pen component.
I've been saying Blue-Whites, it's Black-Whites. Apologies, Black-Whites. I've been calling you the wrong name, and that is entirely my bad. Here comes the ultimate from the Karthus, though. Oh, my word. There's the you were talking about. Everybody just gets blown apart. Egitz is going to get himself cooked. taken down. That's a double kill onto your support as now Pomo getting run onto. The Ornhorn comes in, but I don't think Pomo's going to be long for this world. Alaric's going for the triple. Bill's going to deny that one for him, though, as Veloxa gets himself locked in place. In comes Kit Ruken with a bit of follow-up damage, the Wall of Pain, and Nata to secure the ace. Absolutely monster performance coming in from Ruddy. A honourable defense, though, from the side of Blue Whites. Absolutely huge performance from them. And there we are. Ruddy get themselves their first win of the split.
It was a nice try. It was a tough game. Trial by fire, I think is the term, the desk coin. And it was a blistering heat. They almost survived the Inferno, but not quite. They ran out of time, and Ruddy with their first win of the split.
Absolutely amazing performance there coming in from Ruddy, proving their place. But for the side of Blue Whites, I have to give it to them. Genuinely played that game very, very well. Even if I was naming them wrong for like 90% of the game, I apologize. Really, really good performance from them. And, you know, I feel like with a little bit of time, I feel like this team could potentially become quite a scary team in the league. You know, the fact they were able to go that far behind and really just have an enormous recovery. I mean, I can't really criticize them. They played absolutely fantastically.
Honestly, yeah, I was really impressed. The lane phase was good as well. They're up in CS, like in every single lane. It just seems like, you know, like you say, like the team play element of it wasn't quite there, and Ruddy kind of beating them around a little bit, and in the end, just beating them with their wallets with the Karthus Yone combo.
Absolutely. Well, we're going to pass it over to the desk after that game. So over to you, Archer. Let us know what you thought.
Yeah, what did you think, mate?
Oh, I was not ready for that one. Okay, Initialize.
I just asked. Come on, man.
I was going to reply to him, not you. Now I'm confused. The train of thought is, I'm Portuguese, you know? So as a Portuguese
that can't
individual,
be your defense for everything. That doesn't work.
You know it is. So that was a beautiful standing coming in from Ruddy. I do believe they show themselves as almost like favorites after what they did in Spring Split and jumping into this one with the roster they have. They are scary looking. I did see some glimpses coming in from the new team, which is I'm already happy as well. And I want to get your opinions about the game that we just had. The beginning of the game was obviously in favor of Ruddy, but slowly but surely, Blue-White showed up.
I think obviously Ruddy, they cooked here, right? They cooked a composition that Blue-White certainly didn't expect. And in particular, the Sec support, they just didn't know how to deal with it. And I think that really hurt them in the early game. And it certainly hurt their chances of Jones really being able to do anything on the Kindred because it was put too far behind. And the worst case scenario happened with Kiturikan simply just being able to scale up and become way too strong for them to handle. So this game is kind of a write-off, right? You come into the league with very little warning. One of your players just come home from holiday as well, so you haven't had much time to practice. You're playing against, on paper, I should say, I do agree, one of the best teams in the league. So them just having some signs of life here, having some good fights after the rough start and everything that's going on, I think they can be happy. They can definitely work with this, and I have no doubt that this team will pick up W's. But Ruddy, they can also be satisfied. What a performance from them!
Yeah, and I think that we saw the kind of coordination that we were hoping to see. But that's with a lot of the new members, the likes of Nata, Alaric, and actually Kiturikan as well, in the jungle looking really, really clean. But on top of that, Built bringing out the Sejuani, playing very well in that solo lane. Alex as well, having a monster Yone performance on a champion that he is very, very well known for. But this didn't look like a team that's got 3 new members to it. And yes, it's against Blue Whites who've only just joined the league. But Blue Whites look pretty on the same page. The problem was that Ruddy were there too, and they just had a bigger hammer to swing at you, and that proved very, very difficult. And, you know, one of those key moments for me was Foxy called it out on the Cassie. Look, they've gone for an invade on the jungle, but there's this skull crab that's just spawned with a mark over that way. So if we just hope sit over there, they can get that mark right. And Alex reads it, queues over the wall towards the Raptors, and spends 30 seconds dancing around a Talir and a Kindred until Biltkin turns up on the Sejuani, and they murder the Kindred, and then they win the 2v2 afterwards as well. That kind of heads-up play to put the Kindred in the dirt and also just style on them mechanically at the same time is very, very good news for Ruddy.
And they're looking on the same page. Blue White also looking at the same page. This is why we're going to toss it to Eggets, who's waiting in the interview, the support, to talk a little bit more about what happened. And welcome to the league, Division 1. It's upon you. What do you have to say? Your first words for Division 1 of NLC.
Well, I gotta say we weren't really prepared for this match at least, so we didn't look too hot. But I think either tomorrow or at the very latest next week we'll do much better.
Do let me know one thing. Do you think playing versus RUD, which is a scary team, let's be honest, it's a scary, scary team with nothing now as well. Do you think playing versus them on the first day is beneficial for your team because you take them out of the way, you take the nervous system of, hey, we're playing on Division 1, all of that is out of the way. Now you can focus as the team you are. And I was told Blue White is a team that slowly scales as they go through the split. So removing Ready out of the equation as the first game, was this beneficial for you?
I think it was very beneficial for us to play like one of the better teams in the start, so we can actually scale up because, as you said, we scale as a team. We had quite a few good games in the later stages of Division 2, so I think as we get more practice, we'll do much better and maybe we'll beat Friday next time.
Okay, but do let me know, what is the dream? You join in Division 1 with your team. That's a team that you know each other. You play with each other. What is the dream?
I mean, the dream is to win NLC, of course, but we'll see what happens.
That's a spicy one. I like it. Eggets, thank you so much for joining in. Pleasure to meet you as well, and best of luck. I'm really curious to see what you guys are capable of doing as you move on in the split. And show us what Blue White is made of. Thank you so much. Have a lovely one.
See ya.
Well, I like the dream. You need to aim high in order to land. You know,
Yeah.
It's like Duckling saying that he's going to be a Great Dane. But yeah, good show up from them. Are you okay, Initialize? Are you frozen? What happened?
I'm still here, just about. It just took a second first. I had a bit of a glitch on Discord briefly for my second there.
Oh, I thought you were like Wi-Fiing on your brain. But yeah, tell me that thing.
No, I just want to say I very much agree with what he's saying there, right? This Blue White roster, with the little time they had to prepare, the fact that they were able to bounce back from such a rough start in the game, I thought that was really impressive, even if they never really had a lead or anything. The fact that they were finding these windows, that was really good. There are positives here. There's, NLC Division 2 champions. They know how to play League of Legends. I agree. By next week, I think we should have seen them pick up at least one win.
I think the big thing for me is they came in and they didn't lose lane like super hard. They looked like they had a game plan. And yes, it didn't work out when it came in contact with the enemy, but the enemy was ready, right? Like a team that on paper would be looking to do a repeat return to Emir Mass. It was always going to be a tough call, especially on such short notice. But I think you go, okay, I think the building blocks are there. I will wait and see how this team develops. But they've certainly, I think, got what it takes to make a good showing here in Division 1.
So that is on Blue White. Now looking into Ruddy and the new team they have. Obviously, you can't look into Spring and say, hey, this is an upgrade. I mean, we're talking about 99. We're talking about amazing, amazing players with a vision that we saw what they were capable of bringing. When you look into this new roster, though, what can we say? Is this the team to take down now?
I think that's a big word to throw out after one game, right? We have to remember the circumstance.
Just asking.
And I think the draft here was good for them. I think it was a ruddy draft. I think they played the ruddy way, the chaotic, the bold. And I love their style. It's very entertaining League of Legends. I think they can become the team to beat if they continue these sort of performances. But I'm gonna have to wait and see a few weeks to see if this aggressive style gets found out, because I thought the SAC had a huge impact on this game, and once people learn how to play against that, I don't think it will be as convincing. But they can certainly be, and are in my preseason predictions, a top 2 team, and I think they could be one of the teams to beat.
I think as well, it's worth noting that Nata and Katurakan are not new players. They've been around for a while. Actually, Katurakan did a fairly significant tour of Turkey, has been on Team Phantasma, was over on one of the PCS teams for a little bit, spent a little bit of time on Venom Crest. This is a guy who has actually been playing since 2019. Nata as well succeeded to a pretty significant level in Division 1 in the beginning of 22. Yes, they didn't win the NLC trophy at that point, but they were certainly, for many minds, the better team, or the best team in the split. for the large majority of it in 2022 spring, they're not playing with as many rookies this time. It's a little bit more veterancy, and actually now with Alex and Bill having a little bit more time under their belts, that gives you perhaps a little bit more of a firm foundation than you may have had even last split. And while some of the highs of people like Natty Nat were very, very high, I still don't think it's necessarily a strict downgrade with some of these guys if you can utilize some of that veterancy and experience, so you don't have to teach them as much, basic Div 1 knowledge about how you play the game.
I very much agree. I would have initially loved to see this roster continue that they had in spring just due to the start. I want to see how they could develop. But obviously, as we heard in your interview with Don Jake, there were simply reasons why that couldn't have happened. School and real life sometimes catches up with you, right? And they were forced into a change. And I think they've come out looking very strong after that. And as you're saying, so many teams have picked up rookies here and new unproven factors. As you're saying, the players have experience. Not just one NLC before, goddammit. He's made top 8 at EMEA Masters. He knows what it takes to perform at the top level in the ERL scene. So with the already proven NLC factors and the new big names they are bringing in alongside this unique, interesting rookie who, I'm going to be honest, this is the comparison when I heard Don Jake talk about him as well. I was thinking of Philly saying someone who's a mad scientist kind of, who's willing to make these weird picks and go aggressive. And yes, sometimes it goes a bit too far. And I think Alaric might have a couple games where he doesn't look the greatest because he's just going a bit too far. But he's doing it in good faith. He's making these plays, and they will most likely work. And I'm very excited for this roster. This was a good first showing. I think this could go far.
I have to say, I'm really proud of what we had in the first day. A lot of new talent showing up, and it seems like NLC is brewing their own talent for moving forward. They're like, hey, let's pick these kids who are building themselves up from lower divisions into Division 1. Let's believe in them. That's what RUD did in the previous split, and it worked. So I'm really happy from what we saw today. And also, I want to showcase to you back at home that you can vote on your MVP on Twitter. We had MVPs going through every single game. So you can head on to Twitter and show us your love, your passion for one of these MVPs. We had 4 through the day. I don't know if you're going to show them up on the graphic. If we're not, we just move forward with the predictions. Now, predictions was a lovely thing. We didn't show them at the beginning of the show, but we're going to show them at the end of the show with a graphic on what we had. And this is today's results. Oh, we're just tossing. There we go. Now for the predictions.
Okay. So,
let me see.
Anyone have a perfect day? That's what I'm initially looking at. Yes, Middlecott did.
Oh, no. Middlecott
was perfect. That's great. Lovely guy. Love to see him getting a perfect day.
There we go.
Something's wrong there on the graphic. I got my 5 points for Nord. They did win the game. I had a near perfect day. I am miles ahead of you now, Ashram. I have no doubt you will likely catch up because I'll fumble at some point. But I will enjoy this success while it lasts. And I'm ahead of both of you at the moment. It's been a phenomenal day.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure Nord won not native, so that should be inverted there. So that worth noting that. I'm down 2 points for light side losing. That's about it. So I'm only 1 behind you, Dougley.
Yeah. I mean, you can definitely catch up sooner rather than later. But
I'm just happy I'm here, to be honest.
Yeah. I'm going to revel in my success, right? Remember, last split, for 80% of it, I was in negative points.
That's true.
I was horrible, so I'll take this start, right? I'm not expecting to win. We have some wonderful people here. I think you guys are all smart about League of Legends. But I just don't want to be in negatives for 80% of the year again. I can't do it.
You know what? You were really nice. I want to be nice to you. I do believe you can open a pickle jar as well. So, you at home, if you want to join us in the competition, why not head on to Twitter, into our social media, and join the Fantasy League. Duckling is playing, Initialize is playing, so might as well follow them as well and see where they're landing. All you have to do is just sign up and build up your own roster, and through the days, you'll get points for the players that they played well, or take points because they played bad, and then you'll complain or just cherish on the fact that your Fantasy League is kicking. Well, that's up to you, so join it on today as fast as possible. And let's see what we have for tomorrow. What's the menu for day 2 of NLC Summer 2024? We had it today on Tuesday. We'll start up with DMG versus Nord. This is going to be a spicy one. Verdant versus Natives, then followed up by Light Side versus Ready, and then Venom Crest versus Blue White. That's going to be the last game. It's still not updated. It's going to be Venom Crest versus Blue White. That's going to be on Wednesday. That's going to be day 2. Don't worry about it. Let's be honest, gentlemen. How are we feeling? This is goodbye.
Already?
Is it?
Oh.
Is it? Does it have to be?
It's goodbye for day one. Calm down.
Oh, gosh.
We have a lot
I,
of pickle jars. Don't worry.
I'm gonna
So
go
many
first
pickle
here.
jars.
First of all, I think my fantasy day went pretty alright. Nata and Alex really clutching up at the last game here. But I think we are in for one hell of a split, to be honest, because I didn't see a single one-sided stomp. Every team showed a sign of life. Yes, some games were closer than others, but none of the games where I thought the team looked completely horrible and they were going to get smashed every game. I think teams like Verdant had that comeback, then they threw it away in one bad fight. Lungfist Lightside also had glimpses of hope. They were the ones who had the roughest first day, I will say, but I still have hope in that roster. And you know, Blue Whites showed signs of life. Natives really surprised me, making the game against
It was a very
Seoul
close
way
game,
closer
yeah.
than I thought. So I'm really excited to see how this league develops. I think we can have many teams fighting for playoffs deep into the tournament. And it really excites me that, you know, back a year ago, we had 4 teams pretty much top 4 guaranteed after 1 week. This time, I think we could be sitting at week 6 or 7 and still not know who's going to come out on top.
I think that's a fair statement. And actually looking to some of those games tomorrow, actually the likes of Ecstasy versus Namex in that first game of the day, 2 of the new AD carries that come in this split after the day they had today, that should be a fire matchup. Actually, we are starting already to start putting some of those names out from the general pool of, well, who the hell are they, into, okay, I see what you're putting on the table. Can you keep it up consistently, though? That's always been the question across the NLC, especially when we have got so many shuffled rosters. I don't think there's a single team with a roster that stayed the same from one split to the others, aside from probably Blue Whites, but they've come up as a whole new org, so they're all new players in their own way. So, you know, by another metric, they kind of are. So that's a lot to keep our eyes on. It means that the relative levels are still yet to settle, I think. And the teams that improve the quickest, the teams that improve the most consistently, I think will be the ones we need to keep our eyes on. And I think that, like Ruddy, definitely looking like a team to beat for me.
Yes, sir. It's a new season. We have a lot of new families and new talent. And talking about talent, might as well highlight the talent of the day. The artificial intelligence was working through the entire broadcast, and let's see the count.
No
Duckling
way.
was capable of talking about the Danish and the Danes and the talent and the country 37 times.
That's about
I was
10
going to
times
say
an hour.
40. He didn't quite
That
hit
is
the
a-
mark I needed him to.
That was really high, Duckling.
Did you guys have a bet on this?
Yeah.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, did you not know?
Yeah. We
I
actually
did not.
have an
Ultron
AI.
owes me a $5.
Yes, I do.
Ah, that's crazy. 37
How do you feel
times,
about
that's-
that, Duckling? 37
I think
times.
Considering, you know, I am in the Danish
Yeah, we don't
area,
care. Thank
I
you
think
so
it's
much for
fine.
tuning in for the production. This was lovely to have you on that side of the show. This is day 1.
The hell on our
We
show,
hope to see you tomorrow on day 2 of NLC 2024 Summer Split. Until then, keep climbing.
Shockwave! What a Naros! Oh my word, they are melted! They are down! A wipe coming in from the side of light side.
Both of them now gone, the soul has been denied, but the fight not yet decided. Lenny in the front line though takes so much damage in the back line. Yankee having fun with his opponents. Triple kill for Rusty Sniper.
Gonna be able to set before Romeo finds the re-engage into the multi-man counter-strike. Lenny's going for it. Gets the free man in the jump. Zubac stealing form after form. Raptors going down. EMP can't deal with Deadhound as they crumble. The pick in the clutch when it needed to happen. Torres jumping back in. Booty able to know where to. Here comes Ed with the multi-man drowsy. It's mounted soul for Ruddy. And here comes the Ezreal. Torres has already been able to take out the enemy support. But the damage from Ruddy is too much. Silky Smath, do the math light side. There's too many people here for you to handle.